Welcome, everybody. I today have a wonderful treat for everybody. It is the amazing, the incredible, the multi talented Ro Godwyn. Yeah! Yeah!
Ew. Thank you
Ro.
so much, everyone.
It is so good to see you, friend.
Aw.
We are going to get to delight in some live music performed by the one and only Ro. Ro, what can you tell us about the tune? First, what's the name of the tune, and what can you tell us about it?
So the name of the tune is Wind. This is one of my favorite songs right now. I kind of wrote it last year in kind of a moment of almost like dissociation from myself. And this is
Hmm.
kind of me on my way back to myself of like, hey, I don't feel very close to you, but like I'm sure like you are familiar to me. Like
Ooh.
enter my body. Let me like ground myself again. And this is what that song sounds like.
Yeah.
I don't feel close to you right now, but I swear I know your name. I feel people all around, and I'm sure they feel the same sometimes. I pray sometimes that I make that change, but I stray sometimes. I delay sometimes. Anyway, I hope I get to know you. Yeah, yeah. I get distracted by the wind as it blows between my fingers, not distracted by my fears. Every broken thought that lingers still, I breathe until I've made it go away, yeah. But I'm afraid of myself, and I shame myself for letting them take me in the first place. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. Oh, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. Breathe in, breathe out.
Yes, Lord. Thank you so much. That was incredible.
I'm so
And
happy.
it's such like a man, I feel like I can really relate to that song. Sometimes you hear a song and like the sentiments feel familiar, but like like I don't feel connected to them. But this was like this idea of like I feel close to you, but I don't quite remember. Like I don't quite know you. I don't quite remember you. Um, God, that feels so present, especially right now with the pandemic and everything. Uh, yeah.
I'm so glad you like it. And look, it's not too late to jump on the track. It's not. I haven't recorded it yet.
That is music to my ears. Yes, yes.
Y'all heard it
Let's
first, guys.
let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. That's fantastic. So so everybody, for those who don't know, Ro is a musician and activist, local to New Haven, sought to create moments and spaces of healing through music. After recovering from COVID-19, Ro made a vow to continue to connect with her following in different ways, keeping wellness at the forefront of their mission. They started making natural, sustainable skincare products, combining their love of healing, self care, and the planet as they continue to create. Ro hopes to galvanize their audience to choose self care and healing. I'm sold. Um, and I know because I know you that you just had like a pretty significant event last night. So this is the interesting piece, right? I feel like all of this connects because, like, as artists, I do think sometimes there's something about that creative spirit that will not be confined to just like a thing,
Hmm.
right? So you're not just a singer, you're not just a guitar player or multi instrumentalist. You um, you make these wonderful products, and there's something really beautiful about that creative process. So so tell me how you got there. Like, what was the inspiration? What was like because you're making like a real run at this. It's not just I do these little things on the side. Like this is looking like a real deal thing for you.
I think it is a real deal thing for me. So Rose Garden, play on words,
Yes. Yeah.
because the Rose Garden is like, we don't have
No,
to explain it. But
no, naturally.
people are smart. But I think I think yeah, Rose Garden was birthed out of like, again, kind of just wanting to do some better things for the planet. A lot of people say, and I would agree, that corporations and companies should be doing what they need to do to lower waste so that it doesn't only fall on the individuals and stuff like that. And I was
Sure.
like, this would be an interesting product to like see come about, or this would be an interesting business model to see if we can use like 0% plastic in all of our stuff, da 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 da.
Mm,
So that's what I'm doing now. And I think that where it kind of intersects with the rest of me is that my whole, I think part of why I'm here is just creating spaces for people to like feel, or create spaces for people to heal or to reflect and stuff like that, without really giving much of like instruction on how to feel, just like provide
mm.
spaces and moments and stuff. And I felt like skincare was a really good way to do that, of like, yo, how many times do you like think your deepest thoughts, for example, in the shower, you know? Or like when you're doing your self-care rituals and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, just having nice products to accompany those moments, I think was, in my mind, a way that I could still connect with my audience without being like in person, like on stage, doing all of that. So that's kind of how that came about. I hope I'm answering your question.
You are. No, it's great. And it sort of reminds me, I I find showers actually to be so incredibly yeah, healing. I think that's the best word for it. I really like they changed my whole mindset. Like I could go in angry and come out feeling like $1 million.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Um so it's a whole range of products, right? It's what do you have?
I actually only have three
Okay.
things right now. I have a soap called Convert, named after my song Convert. Check me out on Spotify.
Indeed.
It's
We will be doing that shortly.
lit. It's fortified with bentonite clay. So instead of like if you don't have time to do like a full clay mask every single week, just use that every day. Bada bing, bada boom. Like
No,
people have said that it's like cleared eczema and acne, and it's something I'm really proud of. I also have a CBD soap, which
indeed.
when I was product testing it, Eric, I fell asleep in the shower, standing up.
That sounds dangerous.
I said,
Yeah.
I mean, like now, I'm a little bit more seasoned, but people
Yes.
have definitely reported falling deep into naps, having
Mm,
pain relief from that,
yeah.
which is cool. I also have a shea butter salve, which is just a basic shea butter. I use it on my face every day.
Yeah. Yes. Indeed. Indeed.
And it's just a nice little moisturizer, really, really good for deep tissue massages and stuff like that, if that's your thing, community
Right.
trip and whatnot.
Yeah. 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 All the healing, all the self care with massages and so forth. That's amazing. Um, so let's talk a little bit about music.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Tell me, yeah, how you found it. When was the first time you knew that you were a musician?
I feel like I feel like for me, it wasn't necessarily finding out that I was a musician so much as I found out that like everybody wasn't just a musician. You know,
Ah,
I
okay.
think that like growing up, like I always gravitated towards singing. I always gravitated towards like writing songs and writing poems and doing all of these like different like creative things, creative
Yeah,
TM things.
right.
Just because like art is not the only way that you can be creative, but
Sure.
that's what I gravitated to. And I think that as I grew older, I realized like, okay, like maybe this is something that is unique to me, and maybe this is something that I can step into.
Mm,
Um, for those who don't know, I am Nigerian American. Um, I My parents always like did the whole like doctor, lawyer, or engineer, and those are your only
mm,
options, and da 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 da.
mm,
So I really felt that way for a while, but it wasn't until moving to New Haven when I was 22 that I started like taking it seriously. And it was hard. It was hard. I felt really like rebellious, and it felt like almost shameful in some respects.
mm.
Um, but yeah, I think that at the end of the day, it's just like when you know who you are, the real shame is ignoring it. The real shame is
Mhm.
to not be like who you were meant to be, because you never know who could need you and just will never have you because you've never brought yourself.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so I think that like, yeah, when I was 22, I feel like I stepped into the mind frame of like, oh, I can do this professionally. Like I
hmm,
can connect with people in this way. And at first it was through Fat Astronaut. But now it's on my own.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Shout out to Fat Astro.
Shout out to Fat.
Um, that I love that. I love that line. When you discover who you are, when you learn who you are, the shame is in not doing that. Can you say a little bit more about that journey of self discovery
Mm.
and what that was like for you?
Yeah, I think that like for me, the self discovery, again, I feel like I always had like kind of um a little bit of a vision of like who I was or who I wanted to be. Even to this day, I hold an image of like this person that I want to be in my head, and like it motivates me and all of that. But like I've always had like some semblance of that. I think that I spent a lot of my childhood trying to assimilate, um trying to like fit in, to the point where I was like making myself miserable, yo, like really really busy, um just trying to be something that I wasn't, and still not being accepted for this thing that
Mm.
I wasn't. So it's just like, yo, like if I'm gonna not be accepted, like can I accept myself? Can I be
Yeah.
here with me?
Yeah.
um I think that's kind of how that process of, I guess, like self discovery went for me. When in
Yeah.
reality, it was just like an acknowledgement and just like an honoring of who I am. Because there's nobody else like me. There's nobody else like you. There's
Yeah.
nobody else like
Yeah.
anybody else, you know what I'm saying? But,
Yeah.
and I think that our uniqueness is paradoxically the thing that kind of connects us the most,
Yeah.
um, to ourselves and to others. So,
Mm. It's amazing. Are you reading this out of a book, Ro? This is incredible. Like these you got these lines of our uniqueness is paradoxically what connects. That is incredible. That
should I
it's
write a book, Eric?
maybe you should write a book.
I think
Or
maybe I
just at minimally start writing these one-liners down, because there is a tremendous amount of wisdom in them. And I think that's the thing that feels really powerful to me, especially for someone. I mean, I don't know how old you are. I don't want to date you, but I know that you've got a lot of life in ahead of you still. So to be roaming the world right now with this level of wisdom, that's a gift. And I also, there's a way in which I hear a lot of this wisdom in your music, actually.
Mm,
Your, at least the songs I've heard you perform and sing, um you're not you're not singing about the newest Jays, and not that there's anything wrong with that. If people like Jays and sing about them, great, do it. But that's not what I hear in your music. I hear you taking on these really much more complex ideas, and I think it reflects, um, it, at least for me, in the way that like I experience your music,
mm,
which is there's like these these soft moments. There's like this encouragement to go a little bit deeper and think introspectively about
mm.
like where I'm at and what I'm doing, and what's going on. um is that, I don't know, is that intentional? Is that just like that's just what's on your spirit, so I'm going to write this, or like what's going on there?
It is intentional. I think that I there have been times where like I've tried to like low key force it, but it's just like, nah, who do I think I am? Like I need to like, I don't know, like I I feel comfortable, I guess, just like writing about moments that I think people need help expressing and stuff like that. So like
Mhm.
being heartbroken, like we've heard a lot of songs about them and stuff like that, but um do we hear songs about like being scared about trying like a new like professional endeavor, or like things like
Mhm.
that?
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know. I try to write, or in the past, I've tried to write out of like, what do I think might be helpful for my audience to hear? Because I really do feel connected to the people who listen to my music, and I love sharing just space with them,
Mm.
um, even like via Spotify. But I think that I'm kind of reaching the point where it's just like, yo, I don't like, I can also connect with myself and people will still resonate with it. It's kind of
Mhm.
the phase that I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard this line last night, and I was listening to the Between the World and Me podcast. I don't know if you've heard it or if you've seen the HBO special, but it's incredible. It's based on the Ta-Nehisi Coates book. But they said something on that that reminds me of kind of like the way you talk, which is they said um, what Ta-Nehisi Coates has created is so specific that it's actually universal. That it's such a specific, emotion that he's reflecting or describing. In that moment, they were talking about a particular part where he's describing his inability to protect his son, or his not even perceived. I mean, it's like this real inability to protect his son, and how I think any parent can relate to that feeling. Probably that there are these moments where you can't protect your children, and I think that's just a powerful thing. So this is actually making me wonder about your parents, and because you had mentioned at the top that they they had aspirations and plans for you. You had other plans. I'm glad you're following your plans. But I wonder what they think about your music.
They don't think about it. We okay, it's gonna take a turn, Eric. Are you ready?
Okay. Well, let's turn. I asked the question, so I got to be ready for the answer, huh?
Right. Yeah. No, we don't talk.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. Lots happened this year. I was in a really unfortunate housing situation, so I moved back home to West Hartford, and literally within weeks I was being kicked out. So,
Okay.
like, I mean, it's life, and at the end of the day, it's just like, I'm also I'm queer, you know what I'm saying? So a part of queer culture, especially like Black queer culture, is being able to identify and find your chosen family and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there is not a day that passes that, like, there's not a day that passes that I'm not sad about what happened, but there's also not a day that passes that I'm not overwhelmed with just the sheer number of people who love me, not even thinking about how deeply that, or like how deep that love for me is. And it's just like, be it like from like old professors who like think of me or whatever, or like people who buy my products, or people who like I consider like my sisters and my brothers and my siblings. Like, yeah, there's a lot of love around me. So although, and this if it might sound a little unorthodox, but like, I'm kind of at a point where I'm thinking about like my life and thinking about like the love that I have received. So it's just like, yo, did I have need for this very conditional, very um very rule bound um like flavor of love, or like it was more controlled, like packaged and branded as love, and it's just like, if I had to make a choice, why would that be the one that I make?
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, and also I'm feeling I don't know, just a little bit inspired by how you're just approaching this, and thinking about this in the context of who you are, and how you're um I don't know, being in the world. So thank you for that. um how do you feel about choices?
I love that song. I love it so much. It's very cyclical. It's
Yeah.
very like, for me, it just feels like being like almost like out on the ocean a little bit,
Mm,
um, and not really knowing what's like about to pop off. I
yeah.
don't know if you're like familiar with tarot or if anybody's familiar with tarot, but it serves Six of Swords realness of like, yo, this is
Oh,
like a transitional, like, yo, I just
yes.
left some crazy stuff and I thought that it was just automatically gonna feel better. But I'm here and I'm kind of just lost and I'm a little bit disillusioned in that, like, yo, like yeah, I've walked away from this thing that no longer serves me, but then what?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I really love that song.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. That Yeah, that sounds, again, shockingly familiar. That's great. And also shout out to Six of Swords realness, because that
Period.
is a phrase that we don't get to hear nearly enough. Um, I would like to play choices if I can. Are
Absolutely.
you okay with that?
Absolument.
Absolutely. Great. Let's make the tech do what we want it to do. Boom, 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 boom. Yes, share. Beautiful. All right. Ro, give me a thumbs up if you can hear it. Let's see. Um, can you hear it?
Mhm.
Yes? Great.
Where do I even begin? These are uncharted waters, a route I never thought of can refer to my memory. I keep forgetting everything, and I don't know how. The castle I had dreamt I would abide in is harboring the demons that were hiding from me. I could not see that was the power, and I am so tired all the time. I'm slowly losing my mind. I try, but there's no turning back for me now. Now. I made a choice I would never regret. I said that I won't give in till I gave it my all. Gave it my all. Hey, but what do I do now? Hey, yeah. Today was just like any other day. I felt like I wanna run away. Took a trip to the drawbridge, but I'm locked in, so I'm here to stay. At least for a little while. I wish I could swim across the moat, see the things I never seen before. Have the hope that I had long ago. I put my panic aside. I am slowly losing my mind. I try, but there's no turning back for me now. Now. I made a choice I would never regret. I said that I won't give in till I gave it my all. Gave it my all. Gave it my all. And I made mistakes, but this is not one of them. I made my way to the one, and I gave it my all. Gave it my all. I'm so tired all the time.
Mm. another piece of brilliance. Thank you for that. Wow.
Thank you.
Um, yeah, anything you want to say about that tune?
I think that's pretty much it. I think that this was me being like, yo, it's hard right now, but this is what you know that you're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
So just hang in there, yo. Like, acknowledge your feelings, feel your feelings. This is a
Mm-hmm.
very moody, very melancholy song, but
Yeah.
at the same times, or at the same time, one of the last lyrics was, I've made mistakes, but this is not one of them.
Yes. I
And
love
I
that.
think that's probably one I think that's one of the things that even now in like this season, like things will be looking crazy, or like sometimes things just do look crazy. And
Mm-hmm.
it's worth remembering that, like, oh, you're having the impact that you want to have on the world. You are being able to give of yourself in ways that you want to like give of yourself. How is that bad? Like, yeah, it kind of feels like, ooh, like it would be nice to like have this or feel this stable or do this, but like at the same
Mm-hmm.
time it's just like you are doing the thing that you were meant to do. So no, it's not a mistake, regardless
Yeah.
of what it looks like. It might look crazy, but it's not a mistake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 And there's nothing quite so worth the struggle than the thing that you know you're here for.
Mhm.
It makes all of the rest of it just seem like it's part of the game. It's just what it is. Um, yeah. Um, so so tell me about like so how are you making it work? Like one of the things that I like to talk about with artists is um, how they are making their lives work in the context of their art. I know, particularly for performing artists, they're just that's just like not a thing that's happening right now in any kind of regular way. Um, and I know you are, you know, you're an entrepreneur. You've got this business getting started, but generally, um, I guess the question I'm asking is if you could wave your magic wand, if you could pull out the Ro magic and do a little something, uh, what would make your life or anybody as an artist, as a musician, easier? What would you like to see in the world?
Money.
Yeah,
Money is what would
indeed.
make it easier. Next
Yeah,
question.
yeah. Word. Yeah, real straightforward and simple like that. No, I'm with you. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I think that a lot of times, like as an artist, like what is seen or deemed as like honorable is this archetype of the like starving artist. And I've been there. It's not fun, girl.
Yeah.
It's
No.
not cute, and it's just like, yeah, like I'm doing what I need to do and blah blah blah, but I promise you, and this is to any other artist that is out there right now, I promise you it becomes so much easier to think when you know how you're gonna like pay for food or like get groceries,
Hmm.
pay rent. Like it becomes so much easier. And I'm
Yep.
not saying like, oh, you know, like I'm, you know, like more realistic or whatever by acknowledging it, but at the same time it's just like if you as a musician are not well and don't have the tools to be able to care for yourself, then it becomes increasingly hard to care for others, and then the energy that you're putting out in your music is one of like, yo, like I don't know, like kind of like a life and death energy, which is not what you
Mm-hmm.
want, or at least not what I want for like my audience to hear. Like I think that being able to take care of yourself, self-care, has a lot to do with literally being able to attain like your basic human needs. And I feel
Yeah.
like this country low-key has failed us, not low-key actually, like just full stop.
Yeah.
And it's hard for everyone, especially for us who are already at like who are like artists and like cultural workers are people who are at, again, the forefront of culture and moving it forward, giving
Mm.
us like all these different like cultural, quite literally artifacts of culture, and are being taken care of the least by that same culture,
Mm.
as far as like finances go and stuff like that. So like being able to ask for what you need, and I know I'm off-roading right now, but being able to ask for what you need as an artist is so very important. Like don't be afraid to be like, yo, like what I don't need plays right now, I need cash. Like that's okay, especially
Mhm.
now, especially in the
Yeah.
year of our Lord 2020.
Mm.
It's
Mm.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. So 100% true. So so you've got a lot of things going on,
Lots of things going on. Yeah.
lots of things happening. Um, what's what's next for you, Ro
I
Godwyn?
I don't know. I did not think this far ahead. I have no idea what's next. I have no idea what's next for
Mm.
for the likes of me. I do think that it is I do think, I don't know, just more of what I have been doing, just making
Yeah.
soap and making more music and hoping to run into really cool people, really cool opportunities along the way.
Mm-hmm.
I think that,
Soap and music.
yeah, soap and music. I like what I do. I like what I do.
Yeah.
I like how I do it. Um,
Uh-huh.
so just more of that.
Yeah. I like the way your face lit up when you said, I like what I do. That is powerful. So many of us are doing things that we don't like, either because we have to, or oftentimes out of some level of necessity, and also maybe just choices that we're making. Um, but yeah, being able to feel good about the work you're doing, the things that you are putting out into the world is man, such a fulfilling piece. And now we'll figure out how to get some of that money into your pocket. So so you
Love
don't have to worry about you can be thriving instead of surviving. Move to that, as so many of us are
yeah.
unfortunately in that place of trying to figure out just how to survive, let alone thrive, and what wonderful work we could be doing and experiencing in the world, if that kind of creativity was unleashed.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you look like you're going to say something. I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah, like I'm thinking about it, just like survival versus thriving. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm becoming increasingly convinced that survival is something that you can try, like attempt individually, but thriving, absolutely not. Thriving is not an individual thing. Like I feel like
No.
if if you were to like own like a Beamer or whatever and be like pushing that down like the same streets that like people are essentially living on, like I feel like it's
Hmm.
not possible to, or at least in the world that I'm like living in my head, I'm just like, how nice would it be if I didn't have to worry about any of my other artist friends, yo?
Mm.
I think about it often.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And art also has this interesting paradox of being can be very individual, can be very personal,
Hmm.
while at the same time being so connected to community, such a communal experience,
Yeah.
and the way that we take in art is is so often in this kind of communal environment,
Hmm.
which I think is a particularly insidious part of this pandemic, because we're not able to convene, we're not able to be with one another as we take in beautiful music or other pieces of art,
Right.
and it's painful. It's painful on both sides. Like, it's painful for me as a viewer, but it's also painful for me, the artist, that
Right.
can't get on stage and perform and play, and um,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, it's
yeah,
actually heartbreaking.
it is. Yeah, it really is. Um, Ro, if you could, so I've given you a magic wand. Now, I'm about to tell you to jump into your time machine,
Hmm.
and go back to, I don't know, let's say 14. If you could go back to 14-year-old Ro
Oof.
and tell 14-year-old Ro anything, what would you tell them?
I would tell them, I would tell them that they are loved.
Mm,
I would tell them they can't even imagine the amount of love that they receive on a daily basis.
mm,
I would tell them that they are going to be that they are going to be a musician, that they already are one,
mm,
and that their voice and the way that they move just carries healing for everybody around them. Um, what else would I say? I think I would also just say, like, wow, this is deep. Yo, I was 14 11 years ago. Um, I would say 14-year-old Ro, like, understand that you are so much more special than people might want you to know.
mm,
And not saying that you're the best at anything you do, or that you are like the prettiest or the smartest or da 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 da, but at the same time you have something that to offer the world that nobody else has, and that is you.
mm,
um I
mhm.
would say to 14-year-old Ro, the world is better to have you. I would say that to 14-year-old anybody.
Yeah, yeah, mm, mm, yeah, yeah. Thank you for that. Uh, yeah, the world is lucky to have present day Ro. So I'm glad 14-year-old Ro stuck it out to get to present day Ro. Yeah.
I cannot even imagine what she went through. Of course I can.
Indeed, indeed. Okay, I have one last question.
Oh,
It's a question I ask of everybody. Um, what should I have asked you that I did not? What did I
ooh.
miss?
Hmm. What did you miss? Wait, I need like 30 seconds, Eric. Hold up.
Take 30. Take a whole minute. I'll be here. I'll do a little dance.
I think I know.
Great.
What does
what didn't I ask?
what does self-care and community care look like for you?
Yes. Oh my God. I was just thinking that.
Mm,
So let me ask you this last actual final question.
hmm
Ro, what does self-care and community care look like for you, friend?
Gosh, that's such a good question. No,
Thank you. I
oh,
have a great writer.
wow, wow, it's beautiful, 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 beautiful. Um, self-care for me, it looks a little bit different. Like it looks like, just making sure that I'm getting in like all of my hours of sleep.
Mm,
It looks like making sure that I eat all vegetable,
yeah. Yeah.
actually,
Uh-huh.
several vegetables. Um, it looks like lots and lots and lots of journaling. I have one, two, three, four, five that I write in like on a daily basis.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of journaling.
It's quite a lot. It's excessive, one might say. But I love to write, so that's what I do. It,
Wait, I got to follow up on this. So do you have different things that you write in different journals?
yeah, so I
Wow. Okay.
wake up and I do like morning pages, if you're familiar
Right
with
on.
the artist way.
I'm
um
not, but I will be soon.
I pull oracle cards and tarot cards for myself every day, not every once in a while, every day.
Everyone's
Every once in a day. Um
yes, please. 100. Let's keep it. Let's keep it. Let's keep it at 100. Yes.
So like I'll write down like what shows up there and like how I interpret it. I
Yeah.
have a dream journal. I have a scripting journal, which is basically where I will write as though I'm my future self, being like, yo, I am so happy that I stuck it out through this because now
Wow.
I have this, and that. And it helps me to like shift into that mindset and keep myself
Oh,
encouraged.
word. Yeah.
So I have a song journal.
Naturally.
um Yeah. So yeah, I write a lot. What else? Oh yeah, I cry whenever I feel like it. Like whenever I feel like I want to cry, I just do. And then I
Yeah.
push forward because I feel
Mm.
at my most unwell when I'm harboring all of these feelings, and then it becomes really easy to get overstimulated and stuff like that. So yeah.
That's incredible. I've definitely got to step my journal game up. I only have the one. I mean, fortunately, I have it here with me, but I got the.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I'm a Paisley guy. I like Paisley.
We love that for
I
you.
only have the one journal though. I
That-
need like 7 more.
I mean, do you? I feel like I just have my quirks. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the one thing that's like not 100% like sustainable. Like I definitely could chill with all of these notebooks, but they help me in
Yeah,
different ways, and I value them all.
it's a wonderful practice, and I think one of the things I'm really clear about is self care is not an event, but a practice, something that we do regularly, daily, multiple times a day. It's important to engage it in that way. So yeah, and I'll also say that I'm not surprised that you write as much as you do because you talk like you write a lot, which is really refreshing and wonderful. Um, Ro, thank you so much for coming on, giving of yourself. I really appreciated it and picked up some nuggets along the way. So thank you for that.
Thanks
Um,
so much for having me. This was so much fun, Eric. This
it
was
goes by quick, right?
oh, what like 3:02? Who
I
is
told
that?
you. It goes by fast. It goes by fast, but it really is. It really was. It's lovely to talk to you again, and I'm wishing you all the best in 2021. Ro, you are the last official entrepreneur for 2020. Yeah, yeah. This is the last one I'm doing until 2021.
I cannot wait to meet all of the 2021 entrepreneurs, but
Yeah.
I am so honored to be the last one of 2020.
We I am honored. We are honored. Thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you for your honesty and your vulnerability. I really appreciate that. And yeah, be well, friend.
Be well.
Oh, hold on. We need to let the people know where we can get lotion and candle,
To die.
and soap. We need to know where to get all those things. Where can we get those things?
You can go to my website, rogodwyn.com slash
Yes,
rose
Lord.
garden. I
Yes,
can put it in
Lord.
the chat. Would that be
Yes, please. Yes, put it in the chat so that it may be saved for all time. And people 2,000 years from now may access it and purchase.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
Hallelujah. Word. That's great. Okay, so y'all heard it here. Ro Godwyn, Rose Garden, brilliant name, wonderful products. Ro, I wish you nothing but the best. I cannot wait to see how the future unfolds for you. Keep writing, write more. Um, it's clearly working for you. Um, I'm excited for you, friend.
Thank you. I'm excited for you too. I'm excited for New Haven.
Yeah, yeah. New Haven's got some cool stuff going on.
Absolutely.
All right. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your weekend. Happy holidays, and take good care of yourself. I know you will.
I certainly will.
All right.
Peace to you, Eric.
Bye.